Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Best Friend Show. I'm Primetime Poulton. With me, two of my best friend Sean Ahrendt. Sean, what's going on?
Things are great, brother.
And we
It's
got
going good.
that conniving, cheating, no good main event Phil McNulty with us as well.
Someone's got to be the heel, boys. Someone's got to be the heel.
So if anyone who watched the last La Pod Gods, I told Phil he needed to post some artwork. He hasn't done it. He's trying to do it, trying to get it in.
Trust me, it's not going well.
While we're live to act like he actually kept his promise. But come on, you can't pull one over on the moral compass. We got Darren Wagner in the chat. What's up, Darren? Thanks for joining us,
Darren?
man.
How you doing?
What up, Darren?
Phil told us the same bullshit when Vinny was serenading us at the pizza place.
Yeah, remember that dude?
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Yeah.
he was singing what? He was singing Suspicious Minds by Elvis.
Yeah. That was kind of
So
creepy.
Darren's watching us on his TV. So luckily we all look our best.
I did moisturize. Hopefully there's no children because I have no filter, and if there are, my bad.
So while Phil tries to post some artwork, I have a feeling he's not even going to do it.
No.
He's going to come up with some excuse. I'm gonna pay some bills and I'm gonna promote some stuff if you guys don't mind.
Go
That's
ahead.
what we're here for.
All right. So first up, we have An American Wolf in London, another Eddie Edwards story, written by me and Impact Wrestling superstar, diehard Eddie Edwards. It's available on Amazon, Barnes and Noble. Go order yourself a book. It's awesome. I did the artwork. The cover is drawn by me and inked and colored by Dexter Weeks. Dex did all the colors on the interior pages as well. But that's not all. Also, what else do we got? We got more Eddie Edwards merch. His new T-shirt on the Shop Impact website was done by me and Dexter Weeks. Look at that awesome shirt.
Nice.
Who has the echo going on?
Yeah, that's me. I'm getting my links right because there's no mods.
Okay. So there we go. Go make sure you buy yourself an Eddie Edwards T-shirt on shopimpact.com.
Great. Are those like the shirts, like the graveyard shift shirts, like the quality? Because I really like those.
I don't know. From my store or from the store John uses.
The Eddie Edwards one.
The Eddie Edwards shirt. I assume it'll be like my graveyard shift merch store.
Is that
the quality
like the
of
gold
that?
one? Is that like the gold one I have?
I don't know. I think the quality on mine are a little better. Just saying.
Oh, all right.
Listen, us wrestling fans, the struggle is real with wrestling T-shirts because they mass produce so many of them. The quality is never the best. They're a little tight on the pit areas, but then again, I've rediscovered my love of Oreos during quarantine, so maybe that's just a personal problem I've developed.
Oreos?
They came out with tiramisu Oreos. Tiramisu is my favorite dessert, and I just went in on them.
Welcome to diabetes.
All right. Next up, we got Sea Dog and Codename Killswitch Book 2. 19 days left on Indiegogo. Make sure you pre-order yourself a copy. If you missed out on Book 1, that's available as well. We have covers by interior artist Clint Holinsky. That's a beautiful cover right here.
Mm-hmm.
We have a variant cover by Dan Fraga. We still just have his layout. We're waiting for the final cover, but that's going to be inked by Shelby Robertson with colors by Matt Yackey. And then for Book 1, we did a reprint, and we're using just the line art from John Malin's cover. It's so nice, so detailed. And that'll be a virgin cover, no logo on it as well. And if you want the first printing of book 1, they're available. Both covers, John and Clint's covers, are available as add-ons when you go to check out. But here's some of the interior artwork. Clint and Andrew Dollhouse. Andrew's our colorist. They just make an incredible team. The artwork's just beautiful.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And this story just picks up right after book 1. Sea Dog and Codename Killswitch are on the hunt for Sea Dog's master, Peter, who's been kidnapped by our villain, Shikari. They travel to new worlds. We introduce new heroes, new villains, a lot of world building, a lot of expanding the universe. Here's a new villain that Clint created called Red Raven. She faces off against Crotch Rocket, fan favorite character. And then here's just Clint's black and white artwork, just beautiful stuff. This awesome double page spread. This takes place on the Stormborn's homeworld of Tharoon. He travels home to take on his brother, who has took the throne by force. And for those high roller, big baller backers, we got the Babe box, $200. Gets you all 3 covers to book 1, both covers book 2, a sketch from Clint, a sketch from me, a Sea Dog pop socket, trading cards, mini prints, everything we've put out so far from Sea Dog and Codename Killswitch comes in this box.
Definitely a lot of ass titty on that box.
Yeah, that's what sells, man. Here's a picture of the Sea Dog pop socket. This was our $10,000 stretch goal, this neon mini print. At $15,000, everyone will get another mini print, and this will be of Neon and Rebel, more swimsuit themed prints. And we are really close to unlocking that. I think we're only like $443 away. There's 19 days left, so please, if you haven't already, go check out the page. I'm sure there's something there that you would love to add to your collection.
Yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations on what you've done so far. It's really inspiring.
Yeah, it's going great. The first book, after 60 days, Clinton and I raised $12,000 and then another $10,000 in demand. So we're far surpassing the first book. Oh, we got another person in the chat. We got Good Stuff Comics Gator. Thanks for joining us, man.
What's going on?
And one last piece of shilling from me. There are only 3 days left for the in-demand store of U.S. Assassin. And when the store closes, the covers by Kevin Sharp and Cedric Nacon will no longer be available. So make sure you get them, especially with U.S. Assassin 3 coming up in the spring, our big crossover with Graveyard Shift. You're going to want to get those books, volumes 1 and 2, to see how we got there. Lots of great art by Mike McMahon, cool characters, ninjas, a cyborg dog. Bazooka Dog may be my favorite character I've ever created. But yeah, make sure you check it out. The store closes Sunday at 3 a.m. Well, I'm going to put in to close it. It'll probably last a couple days after that, but make sure you get your orders in. So that's it for the shilling. Guys, man, how have you been?
Doing good. Today I'm doing good, so I'll take that as a win. If you guys haven't, I'm going to drop the link now. Please subscribe, like, and share for the Art and Stuff channel that myself and my co-host Joe Sonatag do. Even if you don't like us, share it anyway, because somebody might have taste. But we're very blessed of everybody that's been on. I will beat this horse till the day I die, but a lot of what I'm doing or able to do is because of Mark being like, "You think you could do this?" And I'm like, and apparently I am. And it's been really great being able to connect with new people, pulling a friendship card, owing a lot of people beer and pizza. And tomorrow we have Shelby Robertson on, and excited for that. So, and I'm working on my book Type 1, which is a throwback to the 80s and 90s comics and cartoons I grew up with Mesoamerican lore and the relationship of nephew and uncle, like Turner and Hooch, that just so happens to have diabetes. So it's me as a superhero because I'm selfish. And that should be coming out later this year. I'm having lots of fucking fun doing it.
Awesome, man. So if you're out there, if you haven't subscribed to Ott and stuff, go subscribe. If you have subscribed and you like the show, share it with a friend. If you don't like the show, share it with an enemy. Make them watch it.
Yeah.
There are two types of people in this world. People who love art and stuff, and wrong people.
Wrong people.
Don't be wrong people.
Don't be a wrong person. Don't be wrong.
Phil, did you post that art yet?
It's been posted. Check it out on Twitter at @AnimatedPhil, y'all.
I'll gotta wait till after the show because this is the only place I have Twitter.
Like, retweet, share, be a friend. Be a golden girl, and thank you for being a friend.
So what's everyone been up to lately? I'll start it off if you want.
Sure.
I actually just finished writing the second draft of Graveyard Shift 4. I sent a link to it to Papa John Malin to see what he thinks. Other than that, just I've done a lot of streaming this week. I've been on like three shows, plus, doing my own stuff. I did an unboxing on my channel for crowdfunder. I got Butch Cleaver, which was an awesome book. Working out hard. Yeah, man, I'm getting those guns back. You're not going to call me Primetime Poulton anymore. I'm going to be Powerhouse Poulton.
Oh, that needs to be a favor. That needs to be a toy. I need to play it again.
No, I'm the man of many nicknames. Primetime Poulton, Powerhouse Poulton, the Moral Compass, the Mailman Mark Poulton.
Can I be Audacity Ahrendt?
The audacity.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, as long as all it takes is one person to get it going, man.
Yeah, spread that.
That's how that Moral Compass thing started. One person started it, and everyone just ran with it. So,
right.
Who's next? Who's got something to share?
Go, Phil.
All right, I'll go. So, Revengers still being worked on. Check it out on Twitter @AnimatedPhil. You can check it out. I am officially wrapping up my commissions. Thank goodness. Oh my goodness. Thank you for all those who've been patient with me, have been messaging me. Thank you so much. Keep in tune on my social media stuff. I may have a big announcement to make regarding comic book future. Who knows? A little tease for you all.
Oh my God!
And check out, I'm going to be posting more on my... Yeah, there we go.
He wasn't lying. He actually posted some artwork.
Phil put through.
Yeah, he had to put that little, what's that called?
Watermark on it.
On it.
Hey, trust me, it's some of my best work like I've ever done personally. I think it comes from a time in my life when I was really down. We talk about we reference this pizza shop moment where Sean and I were just really down on our luck and things weren't going our way, and we were just doing the comic book grind, and we were serenaded by this man drinking scotch and singing Elvis, and I felt like, you know what, I really just needed to be myself artistically. I was tired of trying to fit into this mold to try to break into the big two. And I just said, you know what do I love? I love 90s X-Men. I love Heroes Reborn. Like those are what I grew up with. I love the Clone Saga. And I could just think, hear all those voices in my head, especially the Rob Liefelds, the Todd McFarlanes, the Jim Lees in my head saying, just do it yourself. And Mark was like, why don't you just do it yourself? And I said, all right, prime time. I'll do it. Right. So it's really a passion project for me. I'm doing it with one of the people I'm closest to on this planet, Ryan Brady.
love him.
Unfortunately, we haven't been able to see each other since quarantine. You know, he had the baby and all that. Life's been crazy, so I'm ready to get vaccinated, get back to life. But yeah, it's just my pure love of '90s comics, '90s image. When you couldn't do what you wanted to do, but you said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do it anyway." And that's exactly what this comic is. It's a pure love that I have for '90s comics, and just that when I think comics were best in general. I know we say it every best friend show, but it's the same thing over and over again. Everyone has a fondness for when they grew up, and I remember Mark and I had this conversation. We were at in Collingswood, I think we were at a library, and like only 30 people showed up throughout the day. It was a total bust of a show.
Yeah.
And
Did somebody get you sick there where they asked you for fucking Sharpie because they were not prepared and they gave you the worst virus ever for 2 months? German fested twat.
Shout out to Walt, the Assassin's Guild president, for joining us. What's up, Walt?
How you doing, Walt?
I don't know. I just remember Mark leaning back and saying, "Hey Phil," "Hey Phil, Ryan," and we're like, "Yeah." He goes, "I think anyone truly loves X-23?" And that's when we had our conversation of like, dude, comic books really do suck today, especially from the big two.
The first X-Men prostitute, right?
Who knows? There's so many at this point.
Yeah.
There's so many. The X-Men as a whole are screwed.
I don't want to pay attention. But no, like Phil makes a great point. Like I think everybody in our circle is doing or attempting to do what you just said, like taking your passion, what you grew up on, what you love, and creating your own toys, your own characters, your own worlds. And I think those are the best, in my personal opinion. I'm always wrong, but I don't think in this case. I think I'm on the mark, right, Mark?
Make what you're passionate about, because when you're trying to sell it, people can tell if you're BSing them. If you're actually passionate about what you're doing, they'll know.
Like the first 15 pages of my book, Type 1, it's a love letter to Youngblood Strike File, which
good one.
I tried. It was just action. It was still storytelling, but that's the stuff of mine. So it's just like a brawl fest, just while setting up the story and getting you caught up until we get to the main event. So I'm just trying to go with there. Just stealing the tricks that my friends did.
It's a lost art in comics today. I feel like a balance and of action and dialogue is really lost in today's comics. I remember some of the best quips happened while action was going on, because I just remember those moments. I remember Gambit flirting with Psylocke while he's knocking some robot's head off, and you just remember and I just remember, when did it come to a time when it's just a head in a box with no background and like word balloons over and over again? It's oh God. Don't even get me started on that. And now people are like, "Oh my God, DC's got Bendis," and now they're like, now it's the other way. Since Bendis is like no longer just for DC, they're like, "Yay, no more Bendis." He's just not my cup of tea. I don't think his stories really equate to where the action of past books were at. So if you're going to be heavy on story, be heavy on it, and it's got to be good. Otherwise, get it out of here.
Walt agrees with me. Passion is very important.
Facts.
I mean, that's why they say Mark Poulton, he's a passionate man.
That's what Chrissy Poulton says.
Yeah, she's like, not there, Mark. Wrong hole.
Sean, what have you been up to?
Oh, besides digging on you, while you and Mike were on that Matt's show on Monday.
Todd's show.
Todd, I apologize, Todd. I'm sorry. I'm a little high. I did the gesture drawing of a sea dog because Mike's been giving me shit for not doing traditional enough. So I did it kind of largely, where I just it was just like this, and like I think I didn't even look at a dog reference, so maybe I should now, but that's what I'm working on now. I'm finishing up commissions on the live stream we did on Art and Stuff finishing up this box commission of Boba Fett, which this is really weird. It's a comic book box like Mark has in his campaign.
Nice.
So I still got to noodle the shit out of it. This is a little whatever, but looks the same. But
Cool.
like Phil
Walt-
catching up commissions.
Walt and Phil just became best friends.
I'll tell you what, Walt. I just dropped $200 on a Gambit figure the other day, and I sometimes forget that I now live with my girlfriend, and these purchases that I make just don't affect myself anymore. I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna get this thing. And so she asked me the other day, she's like, okay. She's like, no, that's fine. I said, yeah, but Gambit, he's more than just a character. He's like a person to me. And so she's like, what else is coming? I'm like, girl, I have things I pre-ordered before we met that are now just coming in. So get ready for the Gambit Palace to become even grander.
Does she have? Does she work?
Yeah, we're both art teachers.
Oh, let her pay the bills. Like equality, like gender equality, like women's rights. Like pay the bills, baby. Make me a sandwich while you're at it.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Sean. Please continue with what you've been up to.
Me or Phil?
You.
Sean.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, just I finished. I wrote the plot for Type 1, Volume 2, and I know what you guys are saying. But Sean, Type 1 is not even out yet. I'm like, I know. I just want to set up this story where it's smooth. So by the time I get to work on Type 1 Volume, that sounds weird. Type 1 Volume 2, I know what's up with the what's up. So I'm in a huge creative endeavor right now, and between that and art and stuff, it's just been things are going good, thankfully. So.
Nice.
Just trying to get on that. Promote myself. Exploit myself.
Yeah. And make sure you go subscribe to Ott and stuff. That's the second time I've plugged that. Walt says, nice, he's the same way. Ask his wife. So here's what you have to do. I get home around the same time my mailman shows up. So I get the mail every day. So I just take my whatever I've purchased. I go put it in my display, my custom wrestling belt or whatever. And then my wife will see it one day and she said, where did that come from? I said, I don't know what you're talking about. I've always had that.
See, that's why I don't believe in monogamy. I don't go on answer with nobody. Oh, I posted the link in the chat. So thank you. Yeah, it should be. I'll do it again.
And the channel is just Ott and stuff, right? AHT.
Yeah. That might be a porn site, but we'll find out. Yeah. I just posted it. Thank you.
Let me ask you, Sean, what's on the top of your background? Like on your you have like a bookshelf or something behind you? It looks like some awesome figures or whatnot.
Yeah, it's my DVDs and Blu-rays and cartoons. And then there's my banner that Rob gave me, and my room's a mess because my studio's a mess. No, my room's a mess because I'm doing shit. But yeah, it's most of the shit. I got a bunch of cool shit. Got Dark Hawk, got a Crypt, the original Deadpool. I got a Gremlin. Yeah, I got cool stuff.
And is that the Ramita? No, is that the Ramita vinyl for Spider-Man?
The album? Yeah, the album. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. That thing used to scare the shit out of me as a kid, like the Green Goblin.
Oh.
It dark like this. And I'd be like late at night covering my. But yeah.
Phil's got some supersonic eyesight. I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
well,
I do have these glasses on though, so I can't really see anything.
That brings up a question. What was young that you're not afraid of now that freaked you out? So you said it was that Green Goblin voice on that album?
Yeah. Well, there's plenty of shit. But like That's one, because when we were on vacation driving down to Florida, just so happened it was late at night, going through I think like Georgia, and there was like some like industrial thing that looked like Gotham City from Batman One, and it just kind of in synced up. So that kind of terrified me.
I remember when I was a kid, I remember watching Star Wars, and I remember seeing Darth Vader cut off Luke's hand. And I remember it was like 2, 3 in the morning, like during the summer. I was watching with my dad, and I was so freaked out that in the middle of the night, Darth Vader was gonna cut off my hand. So like I slept like a vampire. Like I basically put my covers up to my neck and slept like this. So like my hand wouldn't fall out because I was so afraid that Darth Vader was gonna come and just lop it off.
Oh,
Man.
that's deep. That's a deep cut.
When I was little, I was scared to death of Jason Voorhees, and I didn't watch the horror films. I just knew him from like the trailers and the commercials and stuff. And one time we were at a movie theater. It was just me, my brother, and another friend. We were, I don't know, we were probably like 10 or 11. But back then, your parents would just drop you off at the movie theater and let you go to the movies and pick you up 2 hours later. So we're watching this movie and the trailers are coming on, and for whatever reason they played a Friday the 13th trailer. I got so scared. I hopped out of my seat and I ran out of the theater. My brother had to come and get me and was like, "It's just a trailer. The movie's not playing. Just come back." So yeah.
Oh, that brings me back to it was a double feature. It was Rambo 3 and Aliens. We got through Rambo 3 and then Aliens played, and it started. And allegedly, my mother told me the story that I jumped on the chair and I was like, "Why did you take me to this movie?" And everybody's like, "Shut up, kid." And I ran out. But I remember loving the movie at that time, so I don't know.
When I was like 3 or 4, my parents took me to see Jaws, and I held the bucket of popcorn. And when the first time he jumped out of the water, I threw the bucket of popcorn, and popcorn went everywhere. And I hate the ocean. I'm even scared to be in the pool by myself because I'm always thinking there's a shark that's going to get me. Christy and I, on our honeymoon, we went snorkeling, and besides already having my fear of Jaws, because I know he goes to those Caribbean islands because I saw part 4. But I also saw that movie. What was it called? I think it was called Deep Water or something like that, where a honeymoon couple got stranded by their boat, and they're like hanging on to this buoy for like an hour and a half while this shark tries to attack them. The captain of our boat was drunk out of his mind. It's lawless, on these Caribbean cruises. So we're out there. I'm always looking back at the boat. I'm waiting for the boat to take off with us, and then I'm gonna be hanging on to this buoy while a shark tries to get me and Chrissy. So eventually they sound they hit the horn to come back to the boat because they're leaving. Chrissy likes to tell the story that I just took off.
She's probably correct.
Yeah, she may be right, but yeah, I don't like the ocean. You don't know what's down there.
Oh no.
Yeah. You don't know what's in your pool, man. Yeah. I want to do a movie one day. I want to write it called Pool Shark, and it's where an inflatable pool shark comes to life and kills people at a pool party.
Starring Ian Ziering.
Yes. And Brian Austin Green as the shark.
I remember, like, when I was a kid, I wanted a My Buddy so bad. I remember this My Buddy and me, and like I wanted one so bad. But Child's Play 2 came out, right? And my dad thought it would be funny to tape a knife to My Buddy's hand, So when I came down one morning, I'd see My Buddy doll with a knife in his hand. I ran back upstairs, and my dad would do this. He would torture me as a kid. One time I went down the stairs and he would hold like My Buddy's hands to his throat and he'd be like, "Philip, My Buddy's killing me," right? And I had to run back, and I would just run to my mom scared. And then the scariest thing ever was I woke up one morning, my eyes open, and all of a sudden at the bottom of my bed, this bed, I see My Buddy's dead blue eyes going over there staring at me. And I just like screaming in my bed, and I hear my dad cackling like on the floor. Now, my dad, mind you, has always been a big guy. He's 6'1", over 270 pounds, right? That man must have laid on the floor in front of my bed for hours. And every time I must have stirred, he must have raised that thing up. And then when I didn't scream, he must have brought it back down. And I asked him just recently about it because since moving back in October, right, I found My Buddy and I said, that shit ain't going with me to my new place, right? And so he said to me, like, he's like, yeah, I was down there for like a good 2 hours. He goes,
That's
still,
conviction.
he goes, still worth it, and cackles off. So My Buddy and Darth Vader.
I knew the kid from Child's Play. His family owned a motorcycle shop up in the part where I grew up in Jersey, and I remember him telling me stories for when they were filming the sequel. When the fucking doll kept trying to stab him, it would stop and the arm would fall off and all the shit. And we got to go to the number 2's premiere, and which was like the family just rented out of the theater by me, but it was cool. And then to make things go around in high school, I had to get a job because I kind of broke the law, so I had to pay for lawyers. So I got a job at that theater, and then he got a job because his parents snipped away all of his money, and people would just fuck with him over their line. Jackie, wanna play? And he's like, these cunts. But he's good people. I don't know if he's alive, but he's a guy.
He was the kid from Child's Play 2?
And one, yeah. I think his name was Alex, because in the movie it was Andy, so his name was Alex. And he used to date he dated one of my brother-in-law's brothers who was my age at the time. So it's a small area from where I'm from. So he's a nice kid, you know.
Huh. I thought they recast the kid in part 2.
No, same kid.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, because his headshot was all over the wall in the motorcycle shop. And so, nice guy.
Cool. What else does anyone have?
Oh, speaking of movie theater incidents, right? I remember, like, I was at a place at the Voorhees Town Center, formerly known as the Echelon Mall, back in the day, and they had the Hall of Heroes. Right, in the Hall of Heroes, I went to the Hall of Heroes, and there's a guy who worked at the Hall of Heroes. His name was Newt, right? And he worked. So
I'm friends with Newt.
So Newt worked behind the counter, right? And I remember just like, and he was telling me about how back in this time, the Flyers were like the #1 sports team in the area because they had like Eric Lindros, John LeClaire, right? All the big name stars were somehow on the Flyers. So he's like, yeah, he goes, and Moulin Rouge came out. And he was just like, you know, he rented like the theater all of himself so he could do some business to the movie.
Wow.
John LeClaire from the Philadelphia Flyers bought out every ticket so he could enjoy himself a movie. And I'll never forget Newt telling me that story, and I feel like if I ever meet Newt again one day, I'm gonna be like, what was that John LeClaire story? Because either I misheard it and that didn't happen, or I heard exactly what I heard.
Right.
Newt was I used to get my books at Hall of Heroes, and I hated when he would work because he would always like judge me on the books I picked up, and being a huge Liefeld fan, he would give me a hard time all the time. He was like such a jerk to me, to the point where years later, when Hall of Heroes went out of business, he messaged me on MySpace and apologized for being such a jerk to me. And
Well,
now we're friends because I forgave him.
Well, he saw the potential in you. He's like, I need to jump on that bandwagon.
Yeah. Fun fact about Hall of Heroes: the owner has a new store, and I am banned from it because I did a signing at his store before, and apparently that made me his property. And when he found out I was doing a signing at another store, he chewed me out and banned me from ever coming to his store again.
What store is that? What
Is this
store
the
is
same
that?
person we know that we've done signings at?
Yeah, the person. What's his store now?
Yeah.
I forget what it's called. Adventureland or something.
I think it's closed in the Echelon Town Center. Is he still in there, or did he move it?
They moved to
Okay.
the Gloucester outlets, although I don't know if they're still open
I'm
because
gonna do some research. I
I've
hope
been
it's
banned. I
down.
can't go there.
After all you did for him?
Yeah, no,
What a cunt.
yeah.
Hold on.
So
Here we go. He's at the Gloucester Premium Outlets. Here we go. Well, I'll be damned. He's still kicking. He's still hawking his shit. And when I say shit, I mean he really has like the shit of the shit in that store.
All the books were damaged. Like you it's like this just came out this morning.
Mhm.
And it's all like scribbled like I'm not buying this bullshit. Let's go to Stormwatch Comics, a real shop.
well, that's my local LCS.
Mhm.
A fine shop if I've ever seen one.
Yeah,
Does that make
I agree.
sense? I don't think so.
Been in one? You've been there.
I don't know. Anyway,
Who
speaking of
else can
movie
we
theaters,
shit on? This is great. Let's make fun of Canada.
yeah, let's not. Come on.
I got a name.
I don't. That's not what the moral compass is about.
I love Warren Ellis.
Inside joke.
You need to return that eyebrow in 1997 called Dickhead.
I was recently at the movie theaters. I saw A Writer's Odyssey. Really good movie. It's a foreign film. Had subtitles. I took Chrissy and Chase to see it. Chase even read the subtitles and liked it. It's just about a
Ooh.
writer whose novel is affecting the real world. Like whatever he's writing is causing this main character for some reason to get ill and slowly die. So he hires someone to kill the writer. And the way he gets the guy to agree to kill the writer is that he says he knows where his kidnapped daughter is. Turns out it's a big lie, but his daughter is trapped in this novel that the guy's writing. So it's pretty awesome book or movie, and the whole family enjoyed it. So there's not a whole lot of stuff out at the theaters right now. So go. What are you guys doing? You sharing notes or?
I'm trying to see what he's got. It looked
No,
it looked like the whole can.
Listen. It is sun chips, French onion, my favorite, and my girlfriend just surprised me with some chips. So living the good life.
Nice.
Very nice. Gonna get
I
some
know.
ASMR now as Phil
No,
munches on chips.
I promise not to munch on snacks during the podcast. I can promise to save everybody's ears.
I also recently watched Born a Champion, starring Sean Patrick Flannery, Sean Ahren's best buddy. It was really good. I love me a good fighting movie. I didn't realize he was big into Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Apparently, he owns his own school in Texas. But after watching it, I was like, oh, if Marco Lopez and I ever make a U.S. assassin film like we've been talking about, Sean Patrick Flannery needs to be a U.S. assassin. At least if we make it within the next, I don't know, 5 years or so. Then maybe he's getting a little too old to be a U.S. assassin.
You should get Buddy Lembeck to play U.S. assassin.
Come on, man.
I mean, come
Be
on. He's an
serious.
awesome actor. I am serious. You don't like Buddy?
I love Buddy Lembeck, but
But not
come
as
on.
Buddy Lembeck, but like as an
Willie,
actor. Because he's
Willie
very
Ames.
similar.
Willie
Very
Ames
similar
is
to Joe.
Willie Ames is way too old to be U.S. Assassin.
Isn't he
Come
the
on,
same age as-
Charles in Charge was late 80s, early 90s. So Willie Ames was probably mid 20s, late 20s then.
But how
But-
old was Joe Armstrong?
But
During-
the older actor hero is in style. It's been there for the past. Hugh Jackman, right? Liam Neeson had a little bit of a run there. RDJ with Iron Man. The older hero is coming in. So maybe you don't want to diss SPF so early.
Yeah. No Willie Ames though. As much as I like Charles in Charge, come on, man. Come on, Sean.
My bad.
Take it
I'm
back.
just throwing that out there. Taking ideas.
Speaking of Liam Neeson, though, he is like the pandemic box office champion. He's like the only star actually releasing movies during the pandemic. I went and saw his most recent movie. I forget what it's called. He like the cartel's after him because he's protecting a kid who crossed the border. I forget what it's called, but I was watching his movie from last year, Cold Pursuit, where he's a snowplow driver killing people. And Chrissy was like, "Didn't you just see this in the movie?" In the movies, and I was like, "No, that's the other movie where Liam Neeson kills people."
The plot of any Liam Neeson movie is he's a middle-aged man doing a middle-aged man job, right? Something tragic happens, and his response is murder till it gets solved. That's any Liam Neeson movie nowadays.
Sounds like the plot of Darkman.
No, you're not lying, Phil. But Cold Pursuit, that's the snowplow movie. That movie is great. It's crazy. His son gets murdered in the movie by these drug dealers, and he. For something that he's not even involved in, his friend like screwed him over and like blamed him for something. So Liam Neeson is about to like he can't go on with his life because his son's dead. He's about to blow his brains out, and then he finds out why his son was killed, and he spends the next like hour and a half of hunting down all these mobsters. And like the premise of it is like you would think it would be so dark and serious. It's like a comedy, like the way he's killing these guys, and he wraps up all the bodies, he throws them in the back of the snowplow, and then he throws them in the river. It's a hilarious movie. Do yourself a favor, go watch Cold Pursuit. You'll thank me later. There's this one gangster in it. He has this technique he uses to score at random motels, where he places a folded $20 bill over his over his junk and just waits there for the bait to come in. It's a hilarious story. It's worth watching just for that story from that one gangster.
It sounds like my one old buddy's massage parlor trick where you drop the condom and you see how that goes.
It sounds like an old Steven Seagal movie. Is Liam Neeson officially entered Steven Seagal territory?
I was going to say
It's
he's the new
supposed to
Charles Bronson because every movie he makes
Oh.
is just kind of like Death Wish now.
Pretty much. Is that on demand? Any like specific
Pursuit?
streaming service? Yeah.
I have the Blu-ray. Maybe I have a code for the digital. If so, I'll give it to you so you can watch it.
Yeah.
But
I'll put it on
it's a
my
great
phone
movie.
right now. Nice.
Yeah. But that mobster with his folded $20 bill trick, I was like, I can see Sean doing that.
I don't need to spend money for what we're talking about. I just give them the boy band link.
This ain't a woman. This a man.
I told you my story about Cancun, I guess.
Tropicana. You told me the one time you went.
That can't be out. That can't be out.
It can be.
Wow.
No, we can't.
There's stories I don't even know.
No, we can't tell that. We can't tell that.
Sean is confided. No. It's all right. It's all right. I'm not going to say anything.
Oh my God.
We've confided in each other. Sean and I have confided in each other way too many weirdo stories over the years.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Because I don't want to get in trouble.
You'll be fine, dude. You'll be fine.
No, this is the one thing I will not tell. This is the one thing that.
Oh, wait a second. Of all the things, this is the one thing you won't tell. This is it.
Yeah. This is.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what?
I think.
You know what? That's like a notch of like maturity on the Ahrendt belt.
No,
we officially now have one notch on it.
Coming attacking me on Twitter. They're like, dang, I have an opinion. Hashtag. You know? So we're not going to. This will never.
This is getting a little too inside baseball. I have no idea what's going on.
Really? I thought I told you everything.
No. Apparently you confide in Phil more than me. That's fine.
One thing.
One thing. There's got to. That was probably. I think there's that Wizard World, that really shitty Wizard World, when we were just like, we had nothing to do there. We were just sitting there, like making nothing. Put the artists back in like the weirdo corner.
Yeah,
I think that was it.
That was 2015 or 17. Whenever Rob got inducted into the.
It was 17 because that's when Pizza Tree came out, and I made a killing at that convention.
I just remember Kato Kaling coming to my table, and I was like, "Get the fuck out of here!" Like, I'm trying to make money, and he's like, "We got things to do," and I'm like, "Fuck out of here, dude! I got money to make. I didn't pay shit to be there."
Is this when you told Neil Adams to fuck off as well? Stop.
That was 2 years prior.
Okay.
And then I wonder when people are just like, Phil, why didn't you get this book? Well, let me tell you. I have a chainsaw for a mouth, and sometimes I just let it cut people down a little bit too much.
It's the Jersey mentality. Like, if I don't tell somebody to fuck off at least once a day, I'm not living up to the Garden State mentality.
I saw Phil rip Neil a new one in a fan group because Neil was trying to pimp his sketches.
Listen, I'll never forget. First ever convention ever. Trying to break into the business, right? Love Green Arrow, one of my top 5 characters, right? Love the redesign, Neil Adams. I go just to say hi to the man, right? Because in my first convention ever, I think it was like 2014 or whatnot. And I'm just trying to get in, break in. And I'll never forget, like, I couldn't afford any of his things because they were like $500 plus. And he's like, $65 for an autograph. I'm like, listen, $65 was my train ticket and my like McDonald's breakfast to get here. And I'll never forget, he was just like, can I take a look at your portfolio? And I was like, sure, right? And I just remember when he took that and was just like, you don't trace, do you? And I'm just like, no, real proud of myself. And he was just like, I still have my tracer from Toys R Us in the 70s. And he pulls it out. Just a real dick bag. And I was like, this fucking dick wants to tell me. And like, I'm all open for criticism, always have been. So I think it's why editors always like me, was because I'm always like willing to take their suggestion, do it. Doesn't work out, I can quick make the fix. But when he was kind of giving me tips, like how I should buy a tracer from Toys R Us and really show him how it's done, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? No way, Neil Adams. And then he wants to hawk his shit on a Jim Lee for him. Screw it.
I just want to say I like Neil Adams. I've had very favorable interactions with him. He gave me advice on how to get the pay rate that not only I want but I deserve. So shout out to Neil Adams, man. Thanks for looking out for the little man.
No, our Adams.
We got Lord Crackhead in the chat. What's up, Hail Lord Crackhead. Thanks for joining us. Phil is shitting on Neil Adams, which I don't approve of.
I realize sometimes we take this turn in the best friends show when we're really enjoying it. We're like, yeah, what are we up to? What are we up to? And then it turns into that. Who can we shit on for a couple minutes? Tell a story before we find someone to shit on next. Just the way it was supposed to be.
And Mark is just like, I can't believe I agreed to this.
I feel responsible because I brought up how I was banned from that comic shop. I didn't realize it was going to turn into a shit fest.
That's what we do. It's just how it is.
Oh, Dojo Kun Comics. Hail chat. Hail Sean. Hail Moral Compass.
How you doing, brother?
Hail Phil. I'll say it too. Even Dojo Kun left it out, I think he meant it, Phil.
That's all right. I'll be chat.
We had a great show with him last night. It was beautiful. It's a lot of fun, a lot of informative. He's got a sign-up sheet. Sorry, go.
Splat Guts. I just got here because I just read U.S. Assassin 1 and 2 and enjoyed them. I don't know what the hell you were all talking about, though. We're just a lot of inside stuff. I don't even know what Sean and Phil are talking about half the time.
It's one of those things where when friends get together and then you talk when you talk inside stuff, like people tend to laugh because they sort of understand a little bit about it and just like know that friendship of a story, like, oh, I remember when some crazy shit went down and now we can't talk about it, and we'll wait for Mark to interject with some wholesome Liam Neeson fun, and then we're just like, hey, let's go back to being the heels that we are. Sometimes I feel like we corrupt Mark, Sean.
Oh, we did. I feel very proud because Mark called somebody a cuck once, and I was like, yo, this is awesome. It's like my child's growing up, you know?
When was this?
It was a couple years back. Who was it towards? It was towards somebody, but you used the word cunt. And I was really proud of you. I kind of blushed.
Well, there you go.
It's like your kid's riding his bike for the first
time. Well, anyway, Splat Guts, thanks so much for supporting U.S. Assassin 1 and 2. Book 3 will be out in the spring, man. Big crossover with Graveyard Shift. Make sure you sign up for our mailing list on Indiegogo. Go watch the trailer. The trailer's killer. We got Flip Gordon, the mercenary from Ring of Honor, in it. We got stunt work in our trailer. That's how high end it is. Dojo Khan, he gives you your props, Phil.
Yes. Thank you, Dojo.
What else you got on the table for us?
What's that?
What else you got on the table for us?
I don't know. We're nearing the 1 hour mark. Unless you guys have anything else you'd like to chat about, anyone you'd like to shit on anymore.
We got a list.
The chat can name somebody, and we'll see if they're on our official best friends shit list or not. No, it's only quiet. Except if it's Bendis, then we all got some problems.
Oh, I do want to remind.
I
do want to remind the chat this Sunday, La Pod Gods are back for some Sunday Night Heat, 5 p.m. Eastern. We're going to talk all the wrestling. If Sean watched wrestling, he could.
Idea what you guys are talking about.
He could join us, but he doesn't watch wrestling. He joined us in the chat though, so hats off to him. He threw out the Max Moon reference that Phil didn't even know who Max Moon was.
Wow.
Phil's just a baby. He doesn't know who Max Moon is.
Sometimes I feel that, and then I remember I was showing my students Remember the Titans, right? We had to and then I realized all those actors are now in their mid to late 50s, and it made me feel some sort of way. Like just seeing it made me feel old. Yeah, it really did. And I was just like, I remember watching this when I was in middle school, and now I'm showing this to middle school students. I'm like, well, damn, I guess it really has been like almost 20 years. Is that crazy? Crazy.
No, yeah. It came out in 2000, right? Or the end of 99?
Right.
Like that?
I've never seen it.
What? It's really inspiring. And
Yeah.
you got Ryan Gosling singing The Temptations. Can't go wrong.
Splatguts is already signed up for the mailing list for U.S. Assassin 3. Thank you. He has high expectations, so I better bring the heat and pain. Well, if it's one thing they say about Primetime Poulton, it's he brings the heat and pain.
Who says that?
Everyone
Who's
says
they?
it.
Who's they?
Gene Simmons wrote a song specifically for Mark Poulton. It's called "Sweet Pain," right?
There you go.
And he's bringing it. He's bringing it hard. He's bringing it fast. He's bringing that sweet pain.
Okay. I'll have to illegally download it. We're just watching on YouTube. Speaking of illegally download, Bootleg Poulton. That's his name. Bootleg Poulton.
Bootleg Poulton?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Cobra Kai?
Oh, come on, man.
He just
Oh,
told you. Hold on. We can't call him Bootleg Poulton. He bought a Liam Neeson DVD we've never heard of. So much so it came with a digital download.
You hear that? The moral compass brings the pain.
Look,
Lord Crackhead knows what's up.
1 out of 2. 1 out of 2.
Yeah. So Enrico gave me the season of Cobra Kai, which you watched with me, Sean.
I was staying at your house. I had no other option. It was either that or being assaulted verbally by Chase, the Joe Pesci of the Poultons.
Was Chase even there? I feel like he was gone that weekend.
I think he was actually.
I think I feel like him and Chrissy were. Oh no, he was staying with my mom that night.
Yeah, it's the next weekend when he turned into Joe Pesci when I tried to talk to that chick, and he's like, blow my spot.
Oh, I feel like we talked about this before on the Best Friend show. Sean trying to pick up a girl at Don Pablo's, rest in peace, doesn't exist anymore. Sean and I picked Sean up one weekend because he was staying with me for a convention, I believe, and we go to Don Pablo's. Sean sees this waitress. They're flirting back and forth. It's going really well. I'm just an innocent bystander observer watching this go down. And I'm waiting for him to get her number, but he doesn't. He just plays it cool. But then, like Sunday, he is still talking about this waitress.
The next week, because I came back for that hoedown thing that we all did at Christmas.
Oh yeah, we did a Comic-Con at a country line dancing place.
Was that the Prospectors one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Remember? Yeah, that's right. Man, we went to weird places.
So we go back there just for Sean's like, this girl's the one. The way he's talking about her. So we're like, yeah, go ask her out. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to do it. So we go there to eat. And then he just gets cold feet. No, he makes he makes my son promise to pretend it's his birthday just so he can like have a reason to talk to this waitress.
You're missing the step because look, I tried to plan things out. I needed to collect my cool. Chrissy and Chase just dash into the place before I can even muster up the guts to get in the mind frame to flirt with this chick. And by the time we sit down, we're trying to plan thing out, and then Chase is like, "I'm finished." He's like, he stands on the chair. He's like, "What am I doing here?" And he's staring at the girl, and he blows up my spot. So he lost his spot as the best wingman ever. So I got shit on by a 7-year-old who blew up my spot. So I need to set shit up in my own way. But no, I'm not about being pushed.
It was just like abort mission, abort. The waitress is staring at Sean like she knows, she remembers us.
She knows.
I'm like messaging Phil, telling him how Sean's blowing it. Phil's trying to lift Sean's spirit and like pump him up, saying he can do this through chat. It was sad, man.
Yeah, Chase dropped a Hiroshima bomb on me.
Lord Crackhead says there's nothing wrong with sailing the high seas every now and then. You got to do what you got to do where Cobra Kai is concerned. I feel like
Okay.
Johnny Lawrence would agree with
I
that
agree.
too.
I
I mean, he
agree.
probably wouldn't even know how to pirate something anyway. But
So that's
and
that.
then Don Pablo's, what was it, a year later?
Back at the scene of the crime.
Yeah, Phil.
A couple months
Phil,
later.
Phil tries to pick up a waitress.
Mm,
I
but-
was blown away by
Yeah.
this. This was like the first time I think we ever hung out with Phil outside of a Comic-Con.
Mm.
And I was just amazed by him, like talking to this hot tattooed waitress. And then afterwards, Phil dropped the line that lives on forever that I tell people about this story. And Phil says, I may be a geek, but I have big balls.
Hey, it's true. When sometimes you just got to know what you got. And when you know what you got, you can go for it.
Yeah. But I'm back to my old degenerate self, and living by the prophecy and the lore of what I like to call the Jodeci lifestyle. So back. Unfortunately, COVID's blocking the shit out of me.
Oh, man.
I know.
As soon as this, like, I'm ready. Like, there are some people who are just, I'm not taking the vaccine or whatnot. I'm trying to punch 80-year-olds out of the way to get it because I'm like, I got to go back to conventions. Get out of my way, old timer.
Well,
Conventions
you
are a
guys
thing
can
of
be
the
the
past.
guinea pigs. I'm gonna watch because in a couple of years you'll see those commercials. You may be eligible for.
You sound just like my mom, Mark. I was talking to my mom the other day, and she was reading things like, "Did you see they turn feminine cells masculine?" And I was just like, maybe I do need the COVID shot a little bit. You're saying that's like a side effect, man. That ain't, it's not too bad for me. I'll take that one.
Yeah, if I could grow in like these missing patches in my beard instead of sharpening them in, I'm all about that life.
Right.
Absolutely, Jojo. Wait and see.
We're going to hell. We are definitely degenerate pieces of shit. Like Phil and I.
Speak
Like
for yourself.
I was just about.
Well,
Did you just not hear Phil and I? Like I was about to say, Mark.
A little decorum. The moral compass is here.
Every time Mark cries, an angel dies or explodes.
Well, everyone's loving the stories. So, what else? What else? I'm trying to think about any other.
The time chase was in the middle of the night when I heard blood murder.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So this is another time. My wife was away, and Sean came down for a bro weekend. It was me, him, and Chase.
It was the con.
Yeah.
It was the con where I got syphilis from that nerd that didn't know how to wash his hands because he didn't know to bring a fucking Sharpie to a convention to sign shit.
So I didn't.
Oh, that's right.
I don't even know about this because I slept right through. Apparently, I woke up at one point. Mm-hmm. You woke me up, but I just went right back to sleep.
So here it is. So where Mark is, that's my room when I crash with them. All right. And when I sleep, I'm a very deep sleeper. Nothing wakes me up. I snore, whatever. And it's pitch black because it's the basement. And next to my bed is a pole, for foundation and bullshit.
Phil's walked into that pole before.
Yeah, that's how they move. So I'm sleeping and I hear, Daddy, Daddy, and I hear a child screaming bloody murder. And I'm just like, what's going on? It's pitch black. I get up, I try to put my shorts on. I fucking hit the pole. I'm like, I'm putting on my pants as I'm running up the stairs. And I hear, Daddy. And I turn the corner to where I hear Chase screaming. And I'm like, what's wrong? He's on the shitter. And he's like, where's my daddy? It's like 3 a.m. I'm like, I don't know, sleeping. So I'm like, I'm closing my eyes. I'm trying to give my man privacy. I knock on the door, and I'm like, Mark's sleeping. And Mark had a long day as it is because he wakes up at 4 in the morning to do what he does. And I'm like, Mark, Chase needs you. And Mark's dog, Noel, was like, "Rah, rah, 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 rah," and attacks Mark or scratches Mark. And then I close the door thinking he's going to hear what's going on. I go to the side to give Chase more privacy. And I'm like, what do you need? What's wrong? He's like, I just need my daddy. And I'm like, all right, I'm not going to wipe you because that's not my problem. I can clearly hear you. So if you need me, just yell again and we'll try to sort this out. So I'm like, fuck this. I go back to bed. And then ever since then, it's just me shitting on Chase because he Joe Pesci'd me. So
Yeah, I think Chase just finally gave up and came back to bed, and then I heard about the story in the morning because I don't
yeah,
I don't remember any of this. I vaguely remember Noel attacking me.
yeah. It was wild. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's like some weird dream.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, that's the closest we've ever been. But yeah, so I will tell that story at Chase's wedding for sure.
There was this one time, Chase, when we bonded over the shitter.
I would like you all to raise your glasses when my young friend couldn't wipe his own ass. But he can now, and he's marrying this beautiful woman. Salute.
Who promises in 10 years to wipe your ass when Sean Aaron couldn't.
Oh, I'm crying.
And the importance of washing your hands afterwards. Because sanitary is cleanliness.
We got Leroy in the chat. What's up, Leroy? If I was at Mark's house, I would poop on the floor in a corner. TMI, Leroy. TMI.
It's probably because he walked into that damn pole and he just knew at this time there's no other way to go.
No, it was a lot of fun. Good time.
Always that damn pole. Always. Every time I'm over at Mark's, I'm like, oh man, this match is great. I gotta go take a leak. Pop.
You smacked your face in the pole.
That's because I always put I moved the futon and I put it right next to that pole because I feel like, oh, that's perfect. That won't be in the way of anything. But it's like you get up and turn the corner real quick and
I'm always so embarrassed because like for as long as I know Mark, like, you know, I feel like, oh no, like I just walked right into this pole and I don't say anything and Mark's just like, you okay? I'm like, yeah. Let's acknowledge this awkwardness right now that I've been over plenty of times.
Phil, I know you look up to me. One of the very first times I met you, your dad came over to me and said, I just wanted to let you know my son absolutely loves you.
I know.
And then I was like, you know what? I love that Phil guy.
You know, it's all because of Savage Hawkman. Loved it. And then I remember meeting Mark and I was just like, damn, Mark's around the corner. He listens to my podcast. And then I just remember thinking, yeah, from that point on, Primetime and we bonded.
That's the first time you started to fit, because I was listening to the podcast and I'm like, when's the next episode? And then you chicken nugget me, and you never put up the next episodes.
Yeah, the episodes were there, and then it just came to a point where it was just like I was doing these videos, and they were taking me hours to edit because being my OCD self, I was just like, they gotta have pictures to go with it in case they don't know what I'm talking about. And now I realize when eventually it happens again, there's gonna be no pictures because if you're out of the loop, I'm sorry, you're just out of the loop. You can Google, and if you don't understand this loop of '90s comics, then quite frankly, what are you doing? Listen to the podcast.
Seriously, if you don't know, you don't know. And knowing is half the battle.
Yeah, I started listening because I guess you guys. Well, I started listening from the beginning, but then you guys did your Heroes Reborn episode, and you were talking about Rob Liefeld, and I think you had some of your facts wrong. So I gave you like the firsthand knowledge that I learned from Rob, and then the next week I hear a shout out to me.
Yeah.
I thought Phil was Ryan's other friend because they kind of look similar. Like they had glasses that Ryan would
But
bring to that one show.
Chunky guys with glasses, I feel like is the any good friend at a comic convention. When you say I'm going to bring my good friend, you expect it.
Yeah, I asked Phil when the next. I asked the podcast page when the next episode's up, and he's like, "Oh, once Phil's done eating chicken nuggets, he'll be up." I'm like, "This guy's gonna have diabetes because it took forever."
I just had them the other night too. The nuggets never stop.
Well, you gotta go with what you gotta go with.
But
Those spicy McNuggets are pretty good. The new ones. Chase got them. Let me try one.
I can't do 'em.
Yeah.
Oh. You see, Taco Bell made a chicken sandwich.
No.
Yeah, they're still in Popeye's territory. I'm not gonna eat
Everyone.
it.
Well, hold on. Popeyes was stealing Chick-fil-A's territory because remember, Chick-fil-A didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich. And it's their pleasure to tell you that story.
I'm a Royal Farms person when it comes to chicken sandwiches.
Oh, those are really good. Yeah, I enjoy those. Quite delicious.
I think I introduced. I can't talk. I introduced you to Royal Farms.
Yeah, they have awesome ice. They have like the
Yeah.
classic pizzeria ice, but their sandwiches are fucking small as shit. I don't think I'm getting my bargain, so that's why I go to Wawa.
I think that's how I pitched Royal Farms to you. I was like, they got great ice.
That's exactly how you pitched it to me.
I'm gonna steal one from Dojo and say, "Hail Wawa."
Hell Wawa. Hell Wawa.
So
What else you guys got for me?
I don't know. We get in a lull, and then right before I'm about to wrap it up, someone comes up with something. So
I mean, we could end it on a high note and tell you why I have the Jesus marks on my palm.
this sounds like a good story. Let's we're gonna do this story and then wrap it up.
Exactly
Unless
right.
anyone in the chat has anything to add or ask.
So, Sean, you're gonna love this. Go to Baltimore, right?
No.
On my way to my girlfriend's parents, right? Baltimore, right? You had to cut through Maryland to go there because they live in Lancaster. So, well, right outside Lancaster. So, they have the motorized scooters.
Not to cut you off, Phil, but Sean and I almost died on the way to Baltimore one night. Do you remember this, Sean? When the trucker was, we think he was asleep at the wheel.
Oh yeah.
As we went over this bridge.
That's the scariest bridge ever. That's really fucking high. Joe Mulvey wouldn't drive over. He had what's his name drive the car, like get out, switch drivers to drive over the bridge because he was afraid.
Yeah, Sean and I were driving to the Baltimore Comic Con late at night. It was a late Thursday night. We're going to our hotel, and we're going over this bridge, and this tractor trailer is just like swerving in and out every lane. It passed. I let it pass me, and we're just like looking at each other like this tractor trailer is going to crash and go off the bridge. Apparently the guy he must have woke up or whatever, because then he had it under control and all was well. But it was a scary, like, I don't know, 10 seconds.
I was afraid. I was very terrified.
I'm sorry, Phil. Please continue.
No. That's better than my story.
Let's hear your shit.
All right. So anyway, they have motorized scooters, right? Never been on one. That's all right, Dojo. It's more entertaining than mine.
We have a feeling my story's better.
Yeah. So Sean knows me. He knows I have no coordination, but I'm gonna go for it. So I went on these motorized scooters, and at first I almost ran over some people, and I stopped. Right, I was
They're in
like,
your
all
way.
right. I was like, this is enough for me. Right, this is fine. Right, but then there's another chance for me to redeem myself. Nobody's around. Right, let's go do it. Right, so
Hmm.
I'm still getting used to the one is the go and one is the stop. I'm getting it mixed up. So I'm in the street and I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. I'm in my nice brown coat, right? I'm feeling like Gambit, feeling like Suave on this thing. Then I hit a manhole cover, right? And what do? I don't hit the brake. I hit the gas, man. So I squeeze onto it, and then I'm like, now I'm going too fast, and I just squeeze the brake, right? But so it jolted me. So as I'm on this jolt, I jump off, and I can just see myself, like I can feel myself going down, right? I know there's no way to do it. I land palms first because you gotta protect, the money maker. You gotta protect the face, right? So I'm just like,
Oh, I
not
know.
the face, right?
No,
And I
no.
just scraped my hands all like down all down here. I have blood going down. I'm like, right. And my girlfriend's like, it's okay. So she grabs like the water on there, and I just scream in the streets of Baltimore, motherfucker, right? And like these people were coming, and I'm just like, and then so now I can't even like, and I know I landed on my knee. I'm like, I think my knee's cut up, right? So I'm like, I can't pull down my pants to check because my hands are so like trashed at this point. So my girlfriend's like, I gotta check to see if the knee because we gotta get something on it. So I'm sitting in her passenger seat of the car, right? And she's pulling my pants down. And like there's nothing there. And people are walking on the streets.
Wait,
And I,
wait,
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 wait, wait,
yeah,
wait, 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 wait,
yeah,
wait. Rewind.
Let's go over what Phil just
yeah.
said.
Yeah,
His girlfriend pulled his pants down and there was nothing there.
No, trust me. As we know, I may be a nerd, I may be a geek, but I've got big balls, so there's at least something there, right?
Ray can confirm.
It's just not a figurative thing. It's a literal thing, right? So so she's like, quick, go. They think something bad's happening, right? So of course in Baltimore. So I was like, never again, never again. I'm like, this is not me. I'm never doing this again. No, I'm ready. It's been a couple of weeks since, and I'm ready to show those scooters who has the balls. But that's how I have
Always ready, Phil McNulty.
With your
always
balls.
ready. Big
I got
balls
one.
returning Sunday night heat.
I got one last one, and then we can close out.
Okay.
So, if you ever been to Baltimore, you know the homeless population and whatever is fucking atrocious, and they always hit you up for money. You know.
How dare you?
So, they always whatever. So I'm outside having a cigarette, and this guy, he's tried to hit me up for money plenty of times, and I guess white people all look alike, or if that's a stereotype. So I'm just up to my shit, and I'm like, he's like, do you have any money? And I look at him, I'm like, I'm an artist. Do you have $5? And he just looked perplexed. And he turned around and went on his merry way to go pee in the corner. So, fucking bumzo Baltimore.
So Leroy says this is officially worse than a Bancroft Street. Hey, we're not admitting that we were former webtoon artists.
Ain't
Although-
no party like a Bancroft party because the Bancroft party don't stop. Well, I'm going to use that. I like that.
Bancroft had a stream. I guess it was last night. The days just kind of run together now, and he confessed his past that his comic, The Lucent, started out as a web comic.
Why you gotta show them web comics? Are they really
What's that?
comics? Web comics.
Web comics are the redheaded stepchildren of comic books. We don't want none. We don't want none of them. We feel like it dilutes our medium.
Yeah, no,
What
I'm not a fan of digital comics, web comics.
about digital
Yep,
get
it was
down?
last night. What's that?
What about digital get down?
What are you talking about?
In sync. Digital get down.
I thought he was alluding to something else, to a story I won't bring up on the podcast.
I'd rather watch wrestling than anime. Absolutely. Who wouldn't?
Absolutely. I mean, who doesn't like sweaty men covered in oil trying to pin down other sweaty men covered in oil down for 3 seconds? And then an 80-year-old may give birth to a hand.
So I went to pro wrestling last Saturday, and the very first chant was "Big beefy men slapping meat." That was the chant the audience was doing. Big beefy men slapping meat.
Oh God!
I did not join in that chat. Chant.
You're like, I'm down for this though.
Mark, were you a Camden River Sharks fan? Actually, I was, and I was going to throw out the first pitch the year the following season, and then they announced they were moving and leaving Camden. I was going to do they had a book reading program, and they were going to have me at the stadium selling pizza tree with my son, and I was going to throw the ball out at the game, the first pitch, which was, as a lifelong baseball fan, that was going to be like, a bucket list moment. And then they moved. They left Camden. I don't know where they're at now. They moved.
Fucking Camden should be like where the zombie apocalypse should be fucking held, at least according to John.
How dare you, Dojo Cud?
No. This is true. Best Friend Show is probably the best worst podcast you've ever heard. I will go down and always say Best Friend Show is the best worst podcast you could listen to.
Well, we used to have like scenarios and like topics and like top 20 chicks we'd bang and stuff like that. But then once like Phil got into the equation, we just became like schmutt and just shitting on everything, which I feel appropriate because that's what
I gotta take this comment down. I don't even like looking at it.
It's all love. It's all love.
You're banned from the chat, Dojo Con.
Untrue.
Yeah, he's talking about the Bancroft stream last night. Very disappointed. We don't sell digital comics around here.
Haven't you gotten like a bunch of push for people to purchase your stuff digital?
Yeah, and we don't do it.
No one wants digital comics. They always think is going to be the thing to take over. It never is. Just ask Bill Shatner.
That's a deep cut.
Yeah.
That's a samurai slice.
Oh,
what does he call you? What does he call you?
Oh, a teenager? His teenager?
I thought there was another name.
All right.
I was probably stoned.
AKA Pat in the chat. Former Hall of Heroes employee.
Oh man.
Oh man.
All right.
Hall of Heroes.
Can we wrap this up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Dojo Con insults my show anymore.
All right.
Sean, where can people find you at?
You can find me at Sean Ahrendt on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. And stuff on YouTube that I do with my homie Joe Sontag. Tomorrow we have Shelby Robertson on, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And Geeks at the Beach, which is the convention I throw in Delaware when COVID gets away. And as always, Mark will be the headline guest. And maybe Phil would make this one. But that's it for now, I think. Yeah.
Phil, where can people find you at?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at AnimatedPhil, and on Sundays with the Pod Gods when we bring the Sunday Night Heat.
That's right. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Coney Waves. Make sure you subscribe to Primetime Poulton. Hit the notifications. I want to thank everyone in the chat except for Dojo Con Comics. I want to thank Black Guts, Leroy, a.k.a. Pad, Lord Crackhead. Who else we got? We got Darren Wagoner, Walt, the Assassin's Guild president. And you know what? I'm a nice guy. I don't hold grudges. Maybe sometimes I do. So I want to thank Dojo Kun Comics too for joining us.
He's good people. He's good people.
Make sure you subscribe, Dojo Kun. Lapod Gods is a well crafted show. We have a format.
Mm-hmm. We'll start a little Impact Wrestling, then a little AEW Wrestling, talk a little bit about our Wrestling Fantasy League. So if you want in, Mark, I think, has officially put the nail in my coffin as we grow closer to WrestleMania. We'll start a new the Pod Gods Wrestling Fantasy League as soon as Mania ends. Try to get some viewers onto the
yeah, maybe we can get some of the guys in the chat to join the league. I mean, good luck trying to defeat me. I'm pretty much the expert of pro wrestling, you know, despite the naysayers. Anyway, thanks for joining us, guys.
This show is everything that Camden is.
And on that, I'm going to end the show. Good night.